I forgot to put this in my part 4 final video for Shock. I'm sorry. Okay, let's go to the review. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Goosebumps HorrorTown playthrough. This is Grim, as I talk to you about the review for A Shocker on Shock Street, and I give you my final conclusions and all that stuff as you come to expect from me as far as things go. So, let's just go ahead and dive right in to find out whether this is good or not. But as always, let's start off with our story. With Slappy being the new king of Horrortown, he decided to hire a world-renowned film director. That man was none other than R.B. Farraday, the most scariest man on Earth, who tricked Slappy to fund his true work, his masterpiece. This results in creating Shock Park, a new theme park that Marty couldn't wait to go into. While in there, he meets a mysterious girl named Erin, and soon quickly hit it off. However, the park seems to be more sinister than they realize, as the attraction seems to be alive. Lights, camera, horror. So this is some interesting notes to keep in mind. This is considered to be our second both in a movie and a theme park event, if you'd like to look at it that way. This is, of course, based off A Shocker on Shock Street, with a bit of Fright Camp mixed in there. We finally got a new backdrop for selecting special characters needed for special events, so that's always great to see that features in there. And of course, this event started back in August 12th and ended September 9th at 7 p.m. EST. So, is this Faraday's greatest masterpiece he has ever created? Or is this film so much of a death trap it was just too shocking to see? Well, we're about to find out. It was go ahead and looked at the good and the bad. Let's start off on the good side, shall we? The first thing I want to take a note of is the story within this update. I do like what they did with Marty being developed here, as well as the new characters introduced. I'll go more into them later on in this part, but needless to say, I did enjoy how they've mixed the element of making it Horrortown as well as keeping the source material, so I'll give them that credit. They always seem to be good with that type of stuff. I want to give credit to the people designing when it comes to the new items we have gotten. Wolf Boy and Wolf Girl, for example, the new scenes. I do like the fact that they both drop the same thing, and you can just get one and you'll be fine. You get the other one, you get both of them. Just, you get double the amount that you need, which is great. I also do love the fact that they added this tram-like system as an idea, because usually what I find near the end is you come up with a lot more currency and you don't know what to do with it, so a lot more items to be able to place around your town is always great. It's a great feature to have. Hopefully in the future they have more of stuff like that to be able to decorate your town instead of it having just a one-off kind of deal. Alright, so let's talk about one of our new characters. Farraday is a very fun and interesting character. Not only does he have interesting, unique animations, but the fact of the matter is this man is insane. He is probably one of the most interesting characters we have gotten this year, and quite frankly, I do enjoy his little work, especially with his questline and what he's been involved with. I did have fun voicing this man, and hopefully we get to see a little bit more of him in the future. Okay, I have to say this, the grand prize here is really, really good. Not only does this thing have animation on there, yeah, it's minor, but it's still animated, and the fact that this thing drops a lot of scare points and the crafting needed isn't that difficult. It was very well mixed together, and it's a really good prize to get. Especially with the other thing I wanted to mention too, is the fact that all the other items that you get, the attractions, also drop scare points. So this event has a lot of scare points you can actually get, which I do appreciate. It's very, very good when it comes to crafting a little bit more when it comes to scaring. Especially filling up that scarometer that they keep on adding now, huh? Last but not least, it's took them a while, but they finally got somebody worth getting. Erin is a very well-designed character as far as animation provide. She has pretty decent animation. The fact that her currency to get her is very attainable, especially with the limited of how much currency you can get. It was very easy to get her. I had a lot of people seem to get her just fine. And quite frankly, I did like this. Unlike the other characters we've gotten that were free, they were like, They had like one animation, or, you know, they didn't really have anything at all. But finally we have a character that has multiple animations, and it's quite fun. I do really like how they designed Erin in the story, and certainly is one of Shock's greatest creation as of now. So a lot of good has come out of this event, but like always, we might as well talk about the bad. So here are some thoughts of what I disliked from this event. One thing I'll mention is that Faraday's questline was a little bit short in my opinion. I would like to get a little bit more in depth with this guy, but I feel like it's fine for the most part. You got a little bit of information, but not too much. I feel like they wanted you to learn Farraday a little bit more through the event story, which I appreciate. I also appreciate the fact that you get this guy. He's more of an added bonus, not so much a requirement, and he doesn't spoil anything like another person would have done. Oh boy, the RNG for the event scene sucks major donkey. You mean to tell me that you need to get both Farraday and Erin in order to 100%? And even if you were to get Erin, she drops 25%? Really? Why do you need to do that? That is just ridiculous. Mind you, this scene item, you only need it for like one area, and then you need it for the grand prize, but it still sucks regardless, because that's such a low percentage to get. That's 0.25% to luckily get it. And I don't know about you, but RNG has never been that great as far as when it comes to luck goes. I'd rather have the items be guaranteed rather than just hope to RNGesus that he would give me the item I require. I'll be honest with you, some of the items that were offered to this event I feel is a bit high as far as the event currency goes. Namely, I'm talking about stuff like the required quest line. They will ask you to drop certain items, which is like about in the thousands. And yes, it's part of the way they them wanting you to sell stuff through the pawn shop. But sometimes I feel like some of them cost way too much for what their own good worth is. I can't for the life of me remember exactly which one was pretty bad in my opinion, but this was something that I will always have to bring up because, oh boy, is its grind is real. You had to do this again, huh? This is gonna be a new thing we're gonna keep now? Okay. Fine. The fact that they have to force the grand prize in order to complete the event again is a bit annoying. This is the second time they've done this now, and it won't be the last. It seems like they're doing this. However, they took my advice from the last one, and they decided to make this as the final quest you need to do, which I appreciate, because I'd rather get the final conclusion out there to feel like you have accomplished something. And I feel like the reason they're kind of doing this too is because of lately it seems like they've been hiding teasers to next updates behind them. So, I don't know. It's pretty much something you need to look into, but again, with this update, it wasn't that bad. It's still kind of crappy, but manageable. How come every time the last big thing always has to do with monetization of sorts? I appreciate the fact that they made Farraday able to be bought rather than the last time where a character was locked behind a unique paywall, but 750 dolans in order to get this man? He is the most expensive character thus far in this game. Why is that? Why is he so expensive? Yeah, he's a cool character. Sure, he has animation, but really? Did you have to justify this case with this price by making him 75% worth? Like, that's the thing, too. And he does drop mostly all the items needed for this event. Don't get me wrong. If you're buying him during the event, He's very useful. In fact, he beats the game for you. But this is the problem with this guy. I don't know what he drops after the event, and I'm sure as heck, probably going to guess, the items he drops will not be worth 750. I feel like he's going to end up being Walter territory, where he's going to be useless. So perhaps maybe monitor what you would put them down as, but I don't know. It's still worth too much for this man. If he was worth a little bit like 50, then I can argue a price for him. But yeah, this one was a bit of a grievances, to say the least. So all in all, this is the end result from my review card here. As you can see, mostly it seems like it's been good and bad, but I will happen to go ahead and now talk about what I feel like this event deserves. Now, of all the grievances I have to say, this has got to be the best event I have played thus far. And you think I'm insane when I say that, but hear me out. The fact of the matter is the grand prize is extremely, when it comes to value, worth it. Farraday, as expensive as he is, was a fun character. Erin is worth getting and is easy to get as far as I hear from other people. The people who actually go ahead and tell me stuff. And not only that, but all the items they give you were worthy of getting. There was nothing that felt useless or out of touch. I feel like had they changed some things around, it could definitely be very higher. But it's just still not the best out of the best. But it certainly is one of my favorite of this year. So a lot of you will probably think I'm insane when I go ahead and say that I'm giving this a 3 out of 19. I'm sure you guys are pretty shocked for giving me such a high regard, especially with a character that's cost so much, and yet still the review ended up going high in the top 3 thus far. Why is that, I wonder? Well, that will be more explained later on, but hey, we still have a few more updates left before the end of the year, so we get to finally do an end of year review very soon. Just 4 more months to go. And, we're going into September, but technically the video is not going to be in. Regardless of that, we're done with this. So let's go ahead and finally conclude with this episode. Let me know down below what you thought of this event, and if you agree with my decision or not. If you like, let me know. All that stuff and more. I have been Grim, and I'll be seeing you next time for whatever Goosebumps HorrorTown playthrough gives us. So until then, have a good night.